In this video, we're going to be spawning cars into our game, and we're going to have a car sprite which has several different costumes with different types of cars, and each of these cars are going to have its own stats such as health and speed. So we're going to give each car different types of stats, and yeah, that's what we're going to do this video. So let's get started. Okay, so to get started, the first thing we're going to do is upload a brand new sprite. You can find these sprites in the description. Basically a top-down vehicle sprite. The first one I'm going to upload is a car, just as our main sprite, and then I'm going to set its size to 65. So let me set that size to 65, and now we're going to go into our costumes. We're going to add a bunch of cars. So the second one we're going to add is, actually let's just import everything. So hit your Audi. I'm clicking Control to multiple select: mini truck, minivan, police, taxi, and the truck. So yeah, that's what we need. Okay, so now that we have all our cars in the game, what we need to do is select, and as one of the commenters or viewers in the previous videos said, to have it shift precisely, hold shift so that it directly hits right. Thank you very much for that. I've put your comment in the screen somewhere. Thank you. Now let's just rotate all of these. Okay, what happened here? Something wrong happened. Let me just re-import that. What was it? The black viper. Okay, so now let me put this back up here, delete this. Okay, and then shift. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Let me try that again. If you guys are having the same problem, then I'd advise. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I won't do it direct. 100% seems to disappear when I do it 100% correctly. Okay, that's too diagonal. Okay, so I hope the rest doesn't have that same problem. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, if you're experiencing the same problem while holding shift, just shift the car a little bit so it's not 100% straight. Like this one, if you see that one by one, just shift it a little bit. Okay, so now we have all the cars in the correct alignment. So now we just want to order this car. We want the black viper next, and then the mini truck, and then the taxi, and then the minivan, and then the truck after the minivan, and then okay, we want the mini truck up here. So taxi, minivan, truck, Audi, and then police at the bottom. So the reason I'm doing this is just so that when we assign the stats for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we just want it to be 100% like this. So just keep it like this, order it in this exact same way, and then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate. Let me duplicate the biggest one, which is our minivan, put it at the bottom, and then what you want to do is just select a bit of a larger part, a little bit larger than the car. And what we're doing here is we're basically creating what we call a detection area for our car. So whenever the player gets close enough to this, our player will be able to enter the car. So we're not going to be using this episode, but I'm just going to do this for now. Collision detector, and we can have a little space there, and now we can go to our code. So the first thing we want to do is do its position. So let's go to a bullet, and we can just copy what we've defined position as here, and let's set our default car to this. So we're gonna of course decrease the size for each specific car. This is a bit big for our first car. Next we're gonna go into the if statement and say an if else statement. And now let's go into explosions. Oh, actually, let's just take this one and get rid of this basic one. We just have this. Now we're going to say show, and then we want to create the first variable for this sprite only, and it's going to be called car health. So let's call this car health for this sprite only, and then we're gonna say if let's go into the if, and then put an if statement here, and we're going to basically, while we're showing, we're going to say if and then get an equals to operator, and then say if car health equals to 0, then we're going to destroy this clone. Delete this clone. Okay. But actually want to do this when it's hidden. So basically, if we move away from the car and can't see it anymore and come back, it should despawn. But yeah, this doesn't mean anything at the moment. Let's just go here. Yeah, so none of this means anything. Now we can, because we haven't done position forever, so the next thing we can do is say when flag is clicked. We can hide our original car because we're going to make clones of it. Have our car go to the front layer and then have it go backwards by 2 layers. But let me first non-hide it just to make sure it's still visible. Yes, it is. Okay, now we can hide it. Next, we're going to say when I receive, or when I start as a clone, we want to say forever. And then we say if touching bullet, then we want to change car health with this change car health by -1, and we're just gonna wait 0.05 seconds. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is say when I start as clone again, just if our car reaches its minimum health, we're going to say when I start as clone, then we're going to wait until car health, so let me say wait until, so we're going to have an or statement. We're going to say if car health is less than 0, where is car health? Actually not less than 0, let's have this less than 1 because 0 is less than 1. And then we also say or if we end up touching an explosion, so if one of the cars explode, all of them next to them will explode as well. And then we're going to set car health to 0, and then we're going to set spawn X and spawn Y. Let me duplicate this, get an AND operator. So we say if touching bullet and car health, actually I want this to be greater than 0, so we don't want our car health to go and become less than 0. After that we say set spawn X and spawn Y to my X and my Y. My bad, just a little notification, but that's okay. And then we're gonna say create clone of explosion. So we want to create a clone of the explosion, and then just to make sure the player knows that this thing is gone, we're going to set pixelate effect to 15, and then set the brightness to -40. Okay, cool, that's cool. The next thing we can do is set up the stats for each each one of these cars. So the first thing we're going to do is say when I start as a clone, we're going to set a brand new variable. We're gonna call it controlled for this sprite only. So each of these sprites, we're gonna look if it's controlled or not, and then we can set the controlled to controlled to and then we're going to create another variable for all sprites and call this spawn controlled spawn controlled, and then what will and then what we'll do is put spawn controlled right here. And now we're going to look for the certain car types. So we'll say if car type, let's create a variable called car type. It should be for all sprites. And then if car type equals to 1, then we're going to set for this sprite only max speed, and then another one for this sprite only called, oh wait, now we already have it, it's car health. So we're gonna set two things, car or max speed, and then car health. Where's car health? Right here. Okay, so for our first custom, we have this regular car. We just wanted to have regular speed, which is going to be 8, and regular health, which is going to be 6, right? So this is going to be our base base car, and then we're going to set its size to 55%. And what we also want to do is we can't have each of these cars be the same color every time we see them, so we're going to have a random thing called change color effect by, and then we're just gonna pick a random 1 to 200. Okay, bet. So now we can duplicate this, set this to 2, and then for our black Viper, we want our speed to be faster, but of course have our car weaker, and then set its size to 50. For our third car, we're going to have, what is it? A mini truck. Okay, so we have it go slower than our regular car, but it has to be stronger. Set this to 3 and have its size be 60. And then duplicate, oh my goodness, we do not want to comment, but duplicate this again. Create car 4. This is going to have let's see what we're dealing with, a taxi. Okay, so we're gonna have it the same stats as our regular car, 8, 6. But then for our taxi, we don't we want this to be 45, and we don't want the color to change, so we're gonna have to duplicate this instead and bring this here and bring this here. Okay, so now we don't want any pink taxis in our game, we just want yellow, yellow, yellow. So the next one is car type 5. If you want to have other color taxis, keep that in by all means. Next we're gonna have our 6th car. Let's see what it is. It's going to be this truck. No, this is our 5th car. This is our 5th car, which is the minivan. So we're gonna give our minivan the speed 5, and then 8.5. I also don't want its color to be random, so I'll just pull that out and then bring it back when we need it. Its size is going to be 65, and then we can duplicate, create our next car type, which is going to be 6, which I believe was the actual truck. And then we set this to 4.5, set this to 9, and then set this to 67. Next we can set up our 7th car. What's that? An Audi. So we're going to make this pretty quick. We're going to make this 12 and then make its health a bit weaker to 5.5. And then set its size to 50, and then you want the random colors here. Now duplicate this again, and don't forget to make this 7, and then now we need 8. 8 is going to be 11.5, which is our police car. We want our police car to be pretty decently fast, and then we're going to set its max health to 7 and have it be 50. We're not going to do any of the color changing for our police car either. And now we're going to create a variable called car costume. So let's just for the sprite only, and then call it car costume for the sprite only, and then we're gonna set car costume to actually no, actually just undo that. This is actually not needed. Let's delete this. We're gonna say set my x and my y to spawn x and spawn y, because we're gonna spawn these cars in to a specific position, and then we want to switch the costume to car type. So yeah, that's what I was gonna do with car costume, but we can just do car type, and then we're gonna point in direction. We don't have anything called spawn direction really now. Okay, so we're gonna call something called spawn direction. Okay, and we can just hide everything here. Bullet. Okay, so now spawn direction. We're gonna have our car point in spawn direction, right? Okay, bet. So next we're gonna say forever position. So let's just grab this, forever position. Okay, so now we just have to position our cars, and we're gonna do that in a new sprite. We're gonna paint it. Don't paint it at all, and then we're just gonna call this game manager. Okay, so for this one we're gonna say when flag is clicked, then we're going to wait 0.05 seconds, and we're gonna spawn our first 3 cars into the game. So let's see, let's set spawn x to -513, and then duplicate and set spawn y to 279, and then set our oh beloved spawn direction to 90, right? And then we're gonna set a random car type, so we don't want to know which car type it is. Going to be between 1 and 7. We don't want to have any police cars on the road yet. And then we're going to set spawn controlled to none. So at the beginning we're going to have AI cars later on, where we'll set spawn control to AI, but for now we'll just have spawn controlled none. Create a clone. Where is that? Create a clone of car, and then duplicate this, right? And then we also want to go to our player. I know this is a bit all over the place, but we don't want our player walking through the car, so we just say if touching collider, or so we say touching collider or car. So right here where we set up our collisions, where we can't pass anything, we want it to be the collider or the car. Yeah, let's go back to our game manager and set the next one to be -827 201 90 again, and then duplicate this for the final time, and let this one be -90, have this be -32 and make this be -830. Now let's click the flag and we get nothing. Let's click the flag again. Okay, we get nothing again. So I wonder what's wrong. So let's go back to our car. So we say when I start scrolling control, set my x to spawn x. Let's see if my x is individual. Yes. Position, if this is this, if this is this, if car health equals to 0, delete this clone. Okay, so it might be a thing of car health equals to 0 before the game starts. So what I'll do is have this wait 1 second, start flag again. Okay, bet, so that works. So now we can see that we have different cars and we can't enter them yet, but if we, I believe we have guns. Yeah, so let's shoot this. Okay, so we can see this explode, so we just have to go to our bullet as well and make one of the things that stops our bullet. We just set OR again and then have that be a car. So set, where's touching? Okay, cool, touching, car, duplicate this, move this here, move this here. Okay, so we say touching collider or car. Okay, now if we go ahead and shoot, let me just grab the AR. Yeah, we can see these cars explode. I think we can decrease our bullet size from 17 to probably 10. Let's try that again. Okay, hold on, let me try this too. Oh, no, not the missile. We want to change this. Okay, let's change that to 60. 3, shoot. Okay, I feel 40 will work. Oh my goodness. Okay, 40. Yeah, this is pretty fun. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next video. We're going to have our player entering and exiting the car. So stay tuned for that and smash that like button if you enjoyed that video, this video, and see you in the next one. Peace.